Good morning. Working on my Proverbs 31 study again this morning, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. Of course, this is nothing new. I've studied it many times, but it's been a great refresher for me. So, moving on with verse 13 today, Proverbs 31, verse 13, and it's simply, she seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. So, again, in doing my searching, I found some things out about wool that I didn't know. Of course, it is an essential material for clothing in cold climates. But according to the dictionary I was using, it also lists it as an essential fabric for temperate climates. So an environment similar to what I live in. So that kind of surprised me. Also flax. When I think of flax, I think of it as a supplement. So flax oil, flaxseed oil. But in reading about flax, I found out that it can be used for thread or for cloth. It can be turned into linen, lawn, and lace, which of course is for cooler clothing, lighter weight clothing. And of course, the last half of the verse is talking about how the Proverbs 31 woman worketh willingly with her hands. Obviously, we live in a different time and day. We don't have to work the fabric like we used to, but of course it is still an option. So for those who sew, I admire them. I have tried it, I've done it in the past, and it's not that I can't do it, it's just not something that I particularly enjoy because my personality type, I'm a perfectionist, and so if it doesn't turn out, I just get frustrated and give up. And I know that's not the right mentality, but that's just me. So it is not something that I particularly enjoy. Now, I have done it with friends, and that's much more enjoyable. But overall, as a general rule, the thought to just sit down and sew something is not something I enjoy. So thankfully, we live in a day and time where we can go to the store and purchase whatever we might need. So the point that this verse made to me is that she's willing to work with her hands to provide. So as she's working, she's providing her family with the clothing needed for that particular climate and temperature, that season, I should say. It also kind of spoke to me because one of the things that my husband hates is stained up clothes. And I do try, but I probably don't try hard enough. Right now we're in a season that when we moved to this house that we're in currently, we sold our washer and dryer because this house came with a washer and dryer. I was very excited about it. It was a much newer model than mine. And it had been left behind by the previous tenant. So I was excited. My landlord didn't know anything about it. He was like, yours to use. So imagine my disappointment to find out it many times leaves our clothes dirtier than when we started. So, I mean, it's truly become a burden. And the other half of the story is we don't want to just run out and charge a new washer. We are currently saving up to buy a new or used washer. So I really regret selling my set, but we just simply didn't know. I mean, we looked at the unit and it's a lot newer than mine, so we just assumed it would be better. It's not. Sadly, it's not. But because it is something that drives Chris crazy, this just nudged my heart a little bit to work a little more diligently to get stains out of his clothing. It drives him crazy. It absolutely drives him crazy to wear stained up clothing. And so I need to do what I can, maybe research, maybe do some learning, check out some YouTube videos to figure out, is there something I can do with this washer, because it's what I have for the time being. I know he appreciates any little thing I can do to help with that situation. So that being said, I'll be getting started with the laundry today, and I'm gonna just try something. I remember years ago, I used to add vinegar to my clothing, and it was supposed to make them brighter, supposed to eliminate the need for fabric softener. There was multiple benefits to using white vinegar in my laundry. I'm gonna try it again and just see if it helps. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I'm gonna try. I have plenty of vinegar on hand, so I can try it without it being any additional cost to my husband or I. So there you have it, ladies. The main point of this to me today was the attitude of the Proverbs 31 woman. She worketh willingly with her hands. So that's something that I'm striving to be. I want to have the right attitude. I want to be willing to help, whether it's in laundry or clothing, or whether it's some other area of our lives that I can be of an assistance to my husband. So again, like I said, clothing is so different now than it was in Bible days. It's not the same at all. And yet at the same time, we have to be clothed. We have to be appropriately attired for our situation, whatever we're attending, wherever we're going. But again, that attitude that she's working willingly, that in itself is huge. And so I encourage you guys today just to take a few minutes, reflect on that. How can you be willing? How can you, it's a challenge for me as well. I'm not pointing all the fingers at y'all. I'm pointing fingers back at me too. So how can I be more willing to help my husband as a Proverbs 31 woman?